I've analyzed part of the data that was faxed out. It appears even those who barely spoke became symptomatic. This must be some kind of mutation.
Get us out of here!
Only takes a minute to rejuvenate my razor with my razor gator. Razor gator, shaving close and smooth as I reuse my razors using razor gator. Razor gator, rinse, scrape, sweep. It's so neat. Keep it clean, scrape, sweep, wipe. It's alright. Razor gator.
Hey everybody, I'm recording this in post because when I recorded the gameplay right here, I didn't get a chance to do the narration on the spot because the game was already playing. I couldn't get to my desktop to turn on the vocal narration, so I'm doing the vocal narration for this episode of The Blue Glow in post. And the reason that I just started recording this section on a whim as it was playing, you know, I just felt like I should hit record because this seemed like, and it is, one of the only actually cool missions in the game. It's like a sort of a story-driven mission. It has an atmosphere to it, and it is pretty cool. And I wish that there had been more missions like this that were sort of more story-driven, as opposed to the majority of the missions in this game, which are just very typical, very tedious, sort of generic, you know, go to this outpost, kill a bunch of guys, rescue some random asshole, you know, generic type shit, which is really my problem with this game in general, is that it doesn't feel like a Metal Gear game. It's just kind of a big, long, tedious exercise in mediocrity. The story doesn't really hit those emotional notes like the other ones ever did. There's not really a whole lot of story to this game. You know, it's just kind of a typical open world, go here, do this, do a bunch of random bullshit missions. It's for normies. It's a normie game, basically. It's not really Metal Gear to me. But, you know, this is one of the very few missions in this game that actually do feel like I'm playing a Metal Gear game, because it's story-driven and has a certain atmosphere to it, and it's actually has a little bit of an emotional punch at the end. Or at least it tries to. I'm sure that emotional punch would be a lot more effective if the whole rest of the game had been like that. But at least this mission tries, and that's more than I can say for the majority of the experience of the Phantom Pain. Most of it is boring bullshit. But this mission was cool, so I started recording. Basically, what's going on in this mission, I know I'm talking over this cutscene like an asshole, but what's going on in this mission is that there's a parasite that is, everyone's infected, and this whole area is quarantined. All my soldiers are sort of infected, and they're all gonna die in agony, and if they get outside, then the birds are gonna peck them, and it's gonna get carried off into the sky, and the whole world is gonna have an outbreak. You know, it's gonna be fucking Resident Evil or some shit. So Big Boss has to go in here and basically kill all of his own men. And that's kind of what we were promised this game would be like. These sort of, you know, these moral dilemmas and these hard choices that Big Boss had to go through, and all this shit that would gradually make him, you know, turn bitter and cruel and take more and more extreme measures and slowly fall to the dark side. And the game didn't really, it doesn't really deliver on that at all. You know, all the stuff that was promised, that this would be like this mature story experience, or that it would be bridging some kind of gap, that all turned out to be bullshit, because the game's not that at all. It's just a bunch of missions in a big, boring, open world. And, you know, I really wish that the game had been more missions like this, because this is cool as shit. So why couldn't the rest of the game be like this? Well, because, I don't know, I guess Kojima wanted to do an open world thing, and he wanted to appeal to, you know, more of the mass market, I guess. I don't know. But I really like this mission. This is one of the few parts of this game that I really thought was really cool.
That's good.
And this is that. It's Big Boss, you know, he's in a fucked up situation. He essentially has to kill a bunch of his own men. And it's really sad, and it's really, you know, it's really emotional and heartfelt. But it doesn't really go anywhere. After this mission, that's kind of the last you hear of it. And it doesn't really affect... It doesn't feel like it's affecting his long-term character or that he's changed because of it. It just feels like it's there to sort of fill a quota of like emotional, heavy moments. But it's kind of undermined by the gameplay and the way that this game is structured. The entire story really is undermined by the structure of this game because it's impossible to really tell a cohesive, coherent story, especially an emotionally resonant story, when the majority of the time you're just sending the player on a bunch of busy work for 60 to 70 hours, you know, micromanaging your staff and going on these random bullshit missions and running around through the desert aimlessly. You know, it just kind of it shoots the whole theme of the game in the foot. It shoots the whole concept that it's trying to pull off in the foot. Oh shit, here's Razor Gator. I don't want to fucking kill Razor Gator, but he's infected. No, I have to kill him. I'm sorry, Razor Gator. You were my best guy. Oh, forgive me, Razor Gator. No! Razor Gator! Oh, God! Scrape, sweep, rinse. It's okay. Only takes a minute to rejuvenate my razor with my Razor Gator. But, what the fuck was I saying? Yeah. As you can see, this mission, this mission kicks ass. I'm going around, and these guys are begging for their lives. Some of them, you know, this guy right here, this guy, I love this guy's reaction coming up. Yeah, so I kill that guy, and then this guy, so you are here to kill us, and he tries to fight back, and that's so cool. Like he's, you know, he doesn't want to die, and he's really confused, and he's like, oh my god, the boss is trying to kill us. Why is Big Boss trying to kill us? I don't want to die, I'm going to fight back. And that's really cool. That's like a very, you know, it's a very, it's a reaction that I can empathize with, and it is a cool moment. God, I wish more of the game was like this. You know, if more of the game were story-driven like this, and look at this guy. This is great, too. You know, this guy accepts it, and if I'm gonna die anyways, I want it to be by your hand. That's so fucking cool. I love this. And this is what was promised. This is what, you know, they made it seem like this game would be. These emotionally hard-hitting, you know, scenarios, and this theme of, like, Big Boss having to compromise his morals and going further and further overboard and going nuclear, right? That was the fucking song. And they really made it seem in the trailers and in all the stuff leading up to this game that that would be like the theme of this whole game. And it's really not. Aside from this and, you know, a few other missions, but mostly this, you know, there's just a few missions at most that even try to touch on that theme. And the rest is just bullshit. And it's really depressing, and it's really disappointing, especially if this is the last Metal Gear. You know, this could have been a really great capstone to the series, and that's obviously what they wanted to do, but I think they really dropped the ball for most of it. I mean, if you've been watching my Let's Plays, and I'm doing a bunch of them for this game, but they just get progressively more and more disgruntled. Because I fucking hate this game. It's such a disappointment. But, this right here, for one shining moment, this game was good. For one 20-minute section of this game, it almost actually approached that Metal Gear level of, this is actually emotionally resonant in a real way. But then immediately after this, it just goes back to the same old shit of running around the desert and fucking playing with your cock and doing a bunch of, you know, scouting outposts and doing your fucking Assassin's Creed Far Cry bullshit. What a piece of shit. What am I doing here? Looks like I'm fucking lost. It's always a great way to undermine an emotional moment in a video game when the player gets fucking lost and is walking around playing like a fucking idiot. That's not the game's fault. That's my fault for not knowing what the fuck I'm doing. This right here is great too. This is fantastic. You walk in here, it's playing this music. See, these guys are so loyal, they know it's the end. Look at that shit, they're all saluting. They're accepting their death at the hands of Big Boss for the good of the whole... God, this makes my fucking dick hard. Like, you don't know. Like, it seems like I've just been complaining and railing against this game and hating on it just to hate on it. I'm not hating on it just to hate on it. I wanted so bad to like this game, and missions like this prove it, because I love this mission. This is so cool. This is hands down the best part of the game. But, God, look, this is so I fucking missed that guy 3 times. Nothing's worse than a clumsy mass execution. I shot that guy in the fucking hand. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this is fantastic.
Is he wearing a mask? He might not be infected. Examine him with those goggles.
I'll save you, but first I have to get this cassette tape. I'm digging these tunes. I'm gonna blast them out of my helicopter. Okay, now I'll save your life.
To the exit. He's the only one not infected.
What the fuck does this do? Nothing. I'm gonna get you out of this spooky place. This place is way too spooky for the living. Where am I going? Where's the door? Here we go. Just fucking lost, going into random rooms like a fucking moron. Yeah, this is definitely the closest this game comes to a crawling in the microwave moment, or a, you know, all those great moments. The older Metal Gears they were all built on these fantastic moments, and that's what this game is missing. It's missing, you know, those kinds of moments. Those, she really is Lady Luck, or, you know, fucking Hal and Dave, that's a good one, or the Sniper Wolf thing, which is one of my favorite scenes in any game ever, when fucking Sniper Wolf is dying and she talks about Big Boss, and, you know, why isn't that in this game? Why don't I fucking get to do all that cool shit, like hanging out with Gray Fox or saving Sniper Wolf, you know? All of that is missing from this game. All the actual stuff that Big Boss did that you would like to fucking see for yourself. It's all missing. You know, saving Naomi. Oh, this is great too, how it fools you into thinking you can save that one guy, but then at the end it turns out you can't, so you gotta kill him too. So nobody fucking survives. That's great. So yeah, it's a great mission and it's a great moment, but I mean, you know, my point is that the older Metal Gear games had tons of moments like this, tons of really fantastic, memorable, emotionally heavy moments that stuck with you. Tons of moments like that within the span of a 4-hour game or an 8-hour game or a 20-hour game, you know? And it's got like 1 or 2 of these moments maybe, tops, and it's a fucking like 80-hour game. And that's unacceptable to me, especially for a game with the words Metal Gear Solid on the box, you know? This is a cool little visual metaphor here. I like that. Another thing, you know, Hideo Kojima is actually a pretty solid director, no pun intended. He's actually a pretty good director when he's not succumbing to his juvenile sensibilities and having the camera randomly zoom in on a fucking chick's asshole in the middle of a supposed to be important cutscene, you know? There's way too much of that. There's way too much... You know, I have nothing against fan service, but it's so blatant in this game, and so at the wrong moments. Look at this. This is a cool-ass shot. I like this whole thing. But you can bet your ass if Quiet was in this scene, the camera would be zooming right up her asshole. Because... You know, Kojima will never miss an opportunity to undermine his own talent with his juvenile fucking sense of humor and his perversions. You know, I adore Hideo Kojima, I really do. But I'll criticize the fuck out of him because... Fuck this game. Fuck it all the way to hell. Oh, shit! Only takes a minute to rejuvenate my razor using Razor Gator. Razor Gator. Shaving close and smooth and then reuse my razor using Razor Gator. Razor Gator. Rinse. Scrape, sweep, it's so neat. Keep it clean. Sweep, scrape, wipe, it's alright. Razor Gator! Whoa! 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 Fuck you, Kiefer Sutherland. You wish you could be the fucking Razor Gator, but you killed Razor Gator. You killed him alongside the rest of your men. How could you? Razor Gator trusted you. I loved that man! We all loved Razor Gator! He was the best guy of all! This game should have starred him. Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Razor Gator. Wait. Queefer Sleepy Man needs to mourn. I must become one with our fallen comrades. One with our boys. Our boys! My poor boys. You died for something, I'm sure. I don't know what we're fighting for. I don't know what I'm doing. All I know is I'm so sleepy. But I won't put you in the ocean. I won't scatter your sorrow to the heartless sea. I will eat you! I'll eat your ashes! I'll put them inside me! I'll go nuclear for you! I'm nuclear! I'm wild! I'm breaking up inside! A heart of broken glass! Default! Deep inside the abandoned child! Using razor gator! Here you go. I'm not sad anymore.
We'll make diamonds from their ashes.
Oh God, so emotional.
With us.
My men! My men! Oh my God.
To our brothers in arms.
Oh,
Even in
my men are dead. I have to put them on my face.
we are diamond dogs.
Shaven close and smooth, and then reuse my razor, singing Razor Gator.